Hey everyone, Jaeger here, and as you can see from the title, it says how to make this look easy. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running through the Nero Fest quests, and we're actually going to go through the hardest one. We're going to go through the Expert Glorious Realm, and it's not all that bad once you figure out a little bit of a trick on how to run through it. Obviously, I have two 5-star servants or three 5-star servants in this lineup. But I have a feeling you can use a lot less to get through it, especially if you have some ascended 4 and 3 stars that complement each other well. If you're at a decent enough level, you should be able to run like a whole set of 3 and 4 stars together with essences, so that should be definitely doable. This quest should be definitely doable for a lot of people. So as you see, we have Saber Lily, Artoria, Waver, and Gilgamesh. And the other two here are just for slight backup, not sure what I'm doing with them. They're just there for shits and giggles, I would say, except for in like really dire circumstances where the party gets wiped out. Then I'll just try to do as much damage as I can. But with this setup that I have here, I've been able to reliably take this quest down um, pretty with like a 99.9% chance of taking it down of completion, because it's just it hasn't been. I think I've failed once, and that was only because that was in the first stages of like setting this up. Other than that, it's been smooth sailing. Just gotta work at the process. So we got lucky enough to have a kaleidoscope, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and use um, Altria's Noble Phantasm, and we're gonna buff here. Obviously, if you don't have an Ascended Waver, you're gonna spend a couple turns getting your Noble Phantasms up if you're trying to do this this type of strategy. And we're just gonna go in here. We can do a Buster Chain. That'll help damage a little bit more. I could have probably done an extra attack with her, but we'll see how this does. It should take down, I want to say, a good 75 to 80% of its health. If not, maybe 65, we'll see. Yeah, a good 65%. And the damage done here is not much. You can see they barely took anything. Waver barely took maybe 5% to 10% of its health, if that. And so we're just going to go ahead and use his skill here to buff her back up. Altria's Noble Phantasm is awesome because you can seriously spam it with a good team, which is awesome. So here we're going to just, once again, go back into the spamming. Actually, going to go do this first. Here we go. Waver, the farther back you put him, the more his arts card is going to regenerate. Just like with any other card, the farther back you put a Buster card, the more damage it's going to do. The farther back you do a quick card, the more stars you're gonna obtain. So here we go, one more turn, and we should have her Noble Phantasm back up. Waver might take one, maybe two more turns, and here we have Saber Lily just sitting there idly by. She's just there for combos, or they're just little regular attacks, nothing too crazy. We're going to do this here. I want to get him a little bit higher. He'll be useful in the next round for sure. He might actually kill it. We'll see. Yeah, it's dead. So I'm actually going to save his Noble Phantasm. I'm not going to use it right away. I'm going to get Altria's Phantasm back up first and then use it. So we'll see how. Yep, whole set of arts cards, perfect. We're going to target the Lancer here, just because it's generally weak, especially to everyone else here. Arts. Actually, we don't need him, so we're going to do this. We're just going to go here, here, and here. Do Saber Lilies and then Artria. just to get a little bit of extra damage on that Lancer here. Can't remember his name. I can't remember these two, the back two, but I know that's Julius Caesar. Obviously, he's pretty easy to spot. I'll have to go back and figure out what these guys' names are real quick. But anyways, but I do know his Noble Phantasm's AoE, Julius Caesar. It's important here. He's the last one I'm going to kill because his Noble Phantasm is single target. And single target is a whole lot easier to deal with than an AoE Noble Phantasm. We're going to buff Altria right here. Unfortunately, there's no, we don't have a Charisma buff or a Tactician's Command buff going, but that's fine. She's just going to do more than enough damage just to get all of their health down. And we're just going to do a quick Buster Chain here, or not a Buster Chain, but a Buster. We're going to use Waver here, and then Altria. King Arthur, woo, Saber, as everyone calls her, which is fine. So this is just a quick attack. Nothing crazy, nothing special. And Waver's Noble Phantasm does do a stun, so that does help. Especially if they get stunned, then you don't have to worry about them buffing themselves up for one turn, which they didn't, but that's okay. And this Lancer here is very annoying because he does heal himself almost every single turn for at least 2,000. It's nuts. I think that was the only time that I did fail, was where I got him. It was one-on-one with him and Waver, and he just wasn't doing enough damage. It was one of my other friends' Wavers that was like level 70, I want to say. He had just ascended them, but didn't level him up, and he just wasn't able to take him down within a couple turns, and so it wasn't working for him. And my support units that had come out just were not doing anything to him either. They were a couple lower level 3s and 4 stars, and so it just wasn't working. But here we go. We can use Saber Lily's Noble Phantasm for some extra damage as well. Easy day, no big deal. Yeah, let's do a little bit of a combo here for her. And yeah, why not? We'll see if she can take down that Lancer. We got 1, 2, and 3. Cali Burn. It's not the strongest of Noble Phantasms. She is relatively weak comparatively for a 4-star. I mean, but she will carry you throughout the story in the game. I want to say I've seen a lot of good things, but also a lot of bad things about her. And as you can see, she's almost dead here, which I thought she probably would have died from all that. And that's why I put her in front, because generally the person in front takes more damage. They're the leader. They get attacked first most of the time. Not all the time, but that works. It's not a big deal. We got 1 more turn left for Altria skills and 2 more turns for Wavers. So what we're gonna do is just do some damage. We're not looking to do anything crazy. I don't expect myself to get another Noble Phantasm off for Altria or Waver. So we're just going to do some damage, take out this Lancer, and then start whittling down this Julius Caesar. And then after the next turn, we're going to start working on that Berserker in the back, because he will take some people down. He does hit pretty hard. Let's see here. Buster. And yeah, just because. We'll see how that works. Yep, take him down. That's good. And so we have a couple hits on him, on Julius Caesar. And next turn, Berserker should go down. Here comes Gilgamesh, which is nice because he'll help immensely taking down Julius Caesar. And I'm assuming you can use almost any archer at this point. If you don't have Gilgamesh, you could use any other archer as well, because I don't expect to use any of the Noble Phantasms for any of these servants after this point. It's just going to be a hack and slash type game right here. I'm going to take down the Berserker real quick. So let's see here. We can do Altria, Waver, and then Gilgamesh. Alright. And here we go. Great, immense amount of damage. Almost any archer, I would imagine, would do well against him. Just because of the class types, obviously. It's no big deal there. And just for the final attack, easy day. Luckily, he didn't use his Noble Phantasm. When he does have a full charge like that, and I don't have a chance of taking him down, say for example he had like 20, 30,000 more health, then I would have actually used the invincibility on whoever has the closest to their Noble Phantasm, or is the most danger to him, which probably would have been Gilgamesh at that point, or the Archer if I would have had an Archer there. Unfortunately, I have yet to get a Nightless Rose drop, and I've done this quite a few times, but it is what it is. No big deal. I actually just got another Craft Essence earlier that does almost the same thing as Nightless Rose. Instead of Guts, it's just an Evade though. So, but it's close enough. Guts and Evade, you could call them the same thing sometimes. It depends. So now I'm going to end this video right here, just, showing off a little bit, who knows. But next up, we're going to go into another video where I'm going to talk about, and we're going to try to do some experimenting to see what kind of a weak party we could figure out to get and to beat this kind of quest. So see you next time. Bye-bye.